Hi everyone, welcome to March. Oh my god, March products of the month. I have been so busy all month with midterms, projects, so I've been a little bit behind, unfortunately, but spring break is not next week, the week after, so I'll be able to really just take time to get stuff done and really kind of catch up on blogging and that sort of thing, which I'm very excited about. Although I will say, my last video, the response that I got from you guys just like means so much to me, that a lot of people were talking about they were dealing with anxiety and, you know, difficult situations in their lives, and the video just helped you to kind of find your center and just really appreciate the relationship that you have with your skin and the time that you get to yourself and the rituals that you partake in. So you have no idea how much it means to me. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. I'm so happy that you love it. So March products, we have a lot of stuff to talk about. And I've actually filmed this video a couple times and every time it goes too long. So I'm gonna try and be speedy. First, I wanna talk about this Diptyque candle. This is the orange, which I picked up earlier in the month. I've yet to find a Diptyque candle that sort of like is holy grail status for me, which is kind of frustrating because the tuberose one that I had before I really didn't like. It didn't smell anything like the tuberose that I was imagining I guess it would smell like, because I love Doucin so much. And this one's actually very nice, but it smells just like orange essential oil and clove essential oil, because I've mixed those two together in my oil burner and it smells pretty much the same. So I'm like, but to be fair, I haven't tried any of the iconic ones yet, and like, you know, the bias, the roses, the fig, so we'll see. But don't dislike it, but I still haven't found a Diptyque candle where I'm like, I have to have it, it's a staple. So let's talk about products. We have so much to get through. I guess we'll start with, first is the Elizabeth Den for One Love Organics Vitamin B Cleansing Oil. Now Liz actually sent this to me. This was hers, but I think she just wasn't using it as much as she would like and wanted to pass it on to me, so thank you, Liz. I love it. I love it so much. It's very different from most cleansing oils in that it smells like a pina colada, which literally is what made me get a pina colada last night at dinner. This is why that paired with the Leahlani, which I'll talk about in a minute, has just got me wanting to like go tropical. So I'm like, but this is a really nice cleansing oil. It is quite effective at removing makeup, and it does clean the skin, although I will say there's other cleansing oils that I guess I prefer more for cleaning the skin in terms of ingredients or scent experience or whatever the case may be. But this does make a very nice morning time cleansing oil. It does remove makeup beautifully. It's a very simple formula, which I think is pretty smart because it means more people can use it. I think it's sunflower oil based, if I'm not mistaken, which is good. I want a cocktail. I think it's a really great foray for me into the brand because it makes me want to try more from the brand. And if you have any One Love Organics products that you really love, let me know below, because I don't really know where to go next. And I know what I theoretically would like, but if you have any sort of hidden gems or anything like that, let me know. But quite nice, really enjoyable, simple but not basic. One that did not work out very well for me is the African Botanics cleansing oil, pure Marula cleansing oil, which Julia was actually kind enough to reach out and send me a beautiful package, so thank you so much. And there's a lot of product, and there's another product that I'm going to mention that I loved, but this is not one of them, unfortunately. It's not really an oil. I mean, it's a glycerin and marula oil-based cleanser, which I'm normally fine with. I do like a good glycerin-based cleanser, like the Amor Vita Hydra Melting. That one's quite good. This doesn't move though. It doesn't act like an oil, it doesn't feel like an oil, it doesn't function like an oil, and that is sort of what I find frustrating. When I massage it in, it like seems to not even absorb, like evaporate or something like that. It starts to get very dry as you massage it, and you really can't massage your skin with it. It starts to feel like it kind of tugs a little bit. It hasn't removed makeup as effectively as some others in my experience. Yes, it cleans the skin, but it doesn't feel like it's softened or cushioned or balanced or anything like that. It smells like lemon meringue pie, which is gorgeous, but I don't know, in fact, I find myself not enjoying the experience, which is unfortunate because the other product I'm going to mention I'm just head over heels in love with, and cleansers are usually the product for me that I try first from a brand. You know what I mean? I feel like if you do a good cleanser, then you've piqued my interest. Hence One Love Organics. But in this case, I didn't love the cleanser, but I do love the next product I'll talk about. So thank you so much for sending it, but unfortunately it just doesn't work out very well for me. But that's to be expected in the, with skincare. And that's the thing. I'm like, if I keep using it and I find out a month from now that I love it, then I'm happy to let you guys know, and I'm happy to change my opinion. And I think that's really important. Things can change, but as of right now, I just really do not like it. On the other hand, the Mad Hippie cream cleanser I've been really enjoying. And actually all the products I've tried from Mad Hippie I have gotten along really, really well with. And I think as a brand, I think they're very smart, and they have a really great range where you can just get good skincare, good green beauty that's not ridiculously expensive, which I think is nice. So this is really cool because it's a true cream cleanser, and so it has a lot of oil content and it removes makeup beautifully. I don't really use it for that though. I use it more as, and very specifically, like an evening cleanse where I apply it, massage it, let it sit on my skin for a little while, and then I get in the shower and I emulsify it off. If you've got an oilier or combination skin type, you might prefer emulsifying it and then clothing it off. And it does cloth off beautifully, just by the way. I have not given up on my washcloths, but it emulsifies, I find, on my skin just beautifully, and it leaves such a nice cushiony, milky, creamy softness behind on the skin that it's really enjoyable if my skin feels tight or dry. So, and I think that's around $20-something for 4 ounces, which is perfect. Next, Leahlani. So I placed a Leahlani order a couple weeks ago, about 2 weeks ago, and it arrived in amazing time. I think I ordered it Saturday. I got here on Thursday, which is really not bad considering I live, 3 time zones away. And also thank you to everyone who recommended some products, because I asked on Instagram, what should I get? I didn't really know. I knew there was a few things that I definitely wanted to get, but I didn't know if there was anything that I might be missing. And I actually picked up one of the products that a lot of you guys recommended, and it's in this video, which I'll talk about in a moment. But I picked up the Kalima cleansing powder, coconut cream cleansing powder, because it's a cleansing powder that's not sodium bicarbonate based. There's a little bit in there towards the end, but it's not like the second ingredient. Like I feel like 90% of cleansing powders are. And that drives me insane because it guarantees that the pH will probably be at least 8 or higher, which is not something I want to be messing around with. And I like this, but I don't love it the way some of the other Leahlani products I love. You know what I mean? So it's kind of textured, but any scrubby bits in it feel very dull, so it's not abrasive. It smells gorgeous, like Hawaiian fruits. Very like doesn't smell like fake Hawaiian, which I really appreciate. And that's the thing about the brand in general is, it could, if it started to smell like what, like a mass market Hawaiian collection that smells like pina colada and coconut and like that sort of thing, that would instantly put me off of the brand, but it doesn't. It feels very authentic, which I really appreciate. And I think the formulas are always really nice and like contain ingredients that I really want to use on my skin, and it's really experience based, but it's not grossly overpriced. And is it Leah or Leah? I'm sorry if I say it wrong, but she was really nice and included a couple extra products in my order, which I really appreciate. And I do like the cleansing powder, but I don't know if I love it yet. It hasn't impacted me the way some other products have. But I think this would be good for pretty much all skin types unless you're incredibly dry all the time. It's a cleansing powder, so it's inherently going to be a little bit more balancing. Some mists. The Mamiel Dewy Facial Mist. So I was unaware that Annie even made a mist until fairly recently, which is like, excuse me, what? Because every Mamiel product I've tried, I haven't just liked, I've loved. And I think that says a lot. Like the cleansing balm is one of my favorite cleansers ever. This I got on the as part of the Art of Organic subscription box, which for February was this and then the Henny Organics lip scrub, which I've really been liking as well. But the boxes are $39, and this I think alone retail is $70. And I got the March box, but then I actually canceled my subscription because I just have so much product to get through that I just think for me subscription boxes aren't really, I really enjoyed my experience with Art of Organics, but it's just subscription boxes in general are just not something that I feel like is suitable for my lifestyle in a sense, because there's so much product that I always am trying to get through and that sort of thing. So I think it simplifies everything for me not to have a subscription box. But anyway, I love this mist. The word dewy is probably the best word that I would use to describe this out of any skincare word in the world, because it is dewy in the truest sense. Slight kind of sheen on the skin, moisture, but not greasiness, plumpness, but you're not drenching your skin. It's probably the finest mist that I've ever used as well. Like incredibly fine. You're supposed to shake it up to activate the rose quartz, which is amazing. And the thing that I haven't established with this yet is the specific context in which I find myself enjoying it the most. Like, I love Beauty Elixir from Caudalie to kind of do at the very end of my makeup to kind of refresh and kind of balance. I love like Clinique Moisture Surge if I'm doing a nice oil serum, my skin feels dehydrated and that sort of thing. So I haven't quite found exactly which context I prefer this the most, but so far it's amazing after I finish all my skincare and I want to do a little refreshing boost, after I've done some makeup and I want to kind of add that dewiness, or after an acid, like a liquid acid. Really nice for that. Also, the Leahlani Citrus and Citrine. This is, I think, for oily and mature skin, and I'm dry and like 12, so I'm like, but it's neroli based. It's neroli and citrus based, so I'm like, done. Anything neroli in the world, I'm like, yep, wrap it up, let's go, perfect, love it, amazing, sold, done. This is no exception. It's more of an orangey sweetened neroli. Such a good mist. I have been using it more as a toner, sort of after I cleanse, I spritz a little bit and then I go in with my serum or whatever the case may be. It's also nice as a mist to kind of layer your products with, or after an acid or that sort of thing. There's a little citrine gemstone, which I believe is supposed to encourage creativity and positivity or something like that, but it's neroli, so I pretty much knew I was gonna like it, but the fact that in practice it is both hydrating and balancing at the same time makes it really, I think, what helps it stand out from other sort of neroli mists. Not ridiculously expensive, which I really, really appreciate. And it just smells so good. Okay, serums. So this Artichoke Power Essence from Yuri Pibu. I know a lot of people have gotten on really well with this as well, but to be very fair, as of lately, I've been very into green beauty, so anything K-beauty, it's not that I'm disinterested, it's just not the first thing that I find myself gravitating towards. But when I use this, I instantly knew why people really like it. And in my experience, the thing that I appreciate about it is it's very unique in who it could be good for. So it's more of a milky consistency, as you can see. Noticeably feels comforting and nourishing and kind of hydrating and creamy in a way, but simultaneously it's balancing. It feels like it's refining the skin in a way, and it feels neutral. Like, it doesn't feel like it's really heavy on the skin, but it also doesn't feel drying. So I think if you have dehydrated skin, but also you have concerns about congestion or large pores or combination or oily skin, I think this could be very nice. And it is, I believe it's 60% artichoke extract, which is amazing. And K-beauty in general is priced quite reasonably considering the fact that they give you a lot of really good ingredients. So remember how I said I didn't love this? This. First of all, can we talk about it? Like so pretty. This is the Neroli-Infused Marula oil, and it's a balancing face oil. So I'll be the first to admit, in general, single ingredient plant oils don't often do much for me, especially if they're priced at a luxury price point, because I'm like, if I'm gonna pay that much, I would rather have a blend. But I was talking to Liz about this, and she sort of described it as simplified luxury, and I think that's a really good way to put it. Here's what this is, in my experience, what this does extremely well. It is a balancing oil in the sense that you are not left with it's not like a syrupy, thick, greasy oil, but it's also not drying the way some balancing oils can sometimes be on my skin. And it is nourishing, but also hydrating. And I very rarely find oils to be hydrating because hydration deals with water, right? But paired with a nice mist or Jordan Samuel Hydrate, I feel like it just locks in moisture extremely well and locks in hydration. So, and beyond that, the scent is like, excuse me, how is this legal? Like, this is euphoric. But like I said, I'm very prone or partial to neroli. But it's that very bitter neroli. It's like a bark, kind of bitter, earthy, herbal neroli, which I love. I think it's just exquisite. The first time I used it, I was like, this is phenomenal. And then I wanted to use it the next morning, and then I used it the next night, and then I used it the morning after that, and I've just been using this non-stop. And actually I found that pairing it with the Odacité, the pomegranate and rose geranium really boosts hydration. So like theoretically, you know, the ultimate ritual would be like a good hydrating mist. Then I do, you know, a couple drops of this and then like just a drop or two of this, and it's perfect. This gives it just that much more nourishment that sometimes my skin needs. But then this on its own is perfect as well. So it's like, I don't even know how to wrap my mind around this because everything is just so good. But I'm just really blown away, and very surprised that I like something so simple so much. Because in general, I'm like, get me every ingredient possible. But sometimes simplicity is where it's at. And as luxuriously priced as this is, I do feel like I've gotten, so far, really great results that have exceeded my expectations, which can only be a good thing, right? Oh, the Leahlani Bless Beauty Balm is one of the products that you guys said to pick up, and I love this. It is sweet. There's a slight neroli element, which makes me happy, but it's a really dense balm. So, you know, Maelstrom, the Blue Cocoon, if you've used it, it very much melts and turns into like a fluid almost. This stays very creamy and balmy, which I really like in certain situations. It's really nourishing. It leaves such a gorgeous, like balmy, glossy dewiness on the skin. Seals in hydration really well if I pair it with a nice hydration serum or something like that. And I wake up the next day and my skin still feels comforted and nourished. And it's pink and it smells beautiful. And the thing that I really enjoy is I think it's an individual product. Like, I oftentimes, if I have a favorite product in a certain category, I'll compare every other product to it. I don't compare this to any other balms that I have. I think what it does on its own and how it performs on its own is really, really good, and it makes me feel very satisfied. So thank you guys for recommending that, because I really like it. Tata Harper Stress Treatment. I don't know why I haven't mentioned this. They included this in the box that they sent over a little while ago. It works. You do a little bit in the palms, do a quick little massage, and then I feel it like right here, like the tension just sort of escapes. It immediately just makes me want to slow down a little bit. I feel like there's a pine element to it in a way. A little bit of lavender, very, very herbal and green though. But beyond that, aside from how good it smells, it has helped me to relax and relieve a little bit of stress every time I use it, which is amazing. So I've actually found myself keeping it in my bag to just use throughout the day. Beautiful. It makes me really want to try some more Tata Harper aromatherapy. Oh, the Leahlani Kokoleka. This is like just like putting chocolate on your skin, and then when you take it off, your texture's refined, pores are refined, glow is there, there's balance, but the entire time you're just like, I want to eat myself. I literally want to just bite my face off. In a nice way, not in a Hannibal Lecter way, but really nice. I've actually been using this. I've used this about 3 or 4 times since I've gotten it. Like, not last night, but the night before. Really, really enjoyable. The only thing I find is it's hard to kind of mix. Every time I either put too much water or not enough, and then it's hard to spread. And the brush that she designs for her masks, I haven't found to be as effective as my Maelstrom brush. So, and that could just be preference, or it could be, you know, user error, whatever the case may be. But this is one of the extras that she's included, and it actually is one of my favorites out of the stuff that I got in the box and ordered. So it's delectable. That's the best way to describe it. Really, really beautiful. The oil body scrub, this is my favorite body scrub of all time. How I can say that after only having used it a couple of times is beyond me, but then the experience is just so good that it makes sense. You scoop a little bit out. It doesn't feel like, it just pretty much feels like salt. Like, it doesn't feel like there's an extremely emollient base, and it's quite, not rough, but potent. And then when you remove it and you wash it off, there's just the softest skin I've ever felt after I remove it. It's like, it's so soft. Great for the arms, elbows, knees, feet. Been really nice for my feet. And then my shoulders as well, that have been a little bit kind of textured. Super effective. This is the Litsea Basil, but I would imagine all the other scents are great. Highly effective, and you don't need to use very much to actually kind of feel like you're exfoliating the skin, which makes me very happy. and reasonably priced, which can only be a good thing, and it looks great. And then last but not least, my friend Bella went to Paris a couple of weeks ago. Went to Paris and brought me back a Biafine, which, again, to be very fair, I didn't really understand what it was before. I was like, oh yeah, sure, grab some Biafine while you're there, if you don't mind. I get it now, in that it's just an SOS cream. So I was going through some like really weird dryness on my legs. This took care of it overnight. I had some irritation on my upper lip, put this on, dealt with it overnight. And as, you know, healing as it is and as creamy as it seems like it would be, it actually is pretty thin. Like, it melts into the skin quite nicely. It's theoretically designed for like burns and kind of superficial kind of irritation and kind of damage to the skin, but I find it anti-inflammatory, healing, comforting. It's a huge tube and it's not grossly expensive, but I found it to be effective on the face and the body, and it's not overly rich, which I really appreciate. This is the ACT, which has the trolamine in it, so I haven't tried the regular Biafine, but I think this is almost identical except for that trolamine. But I don't know, I love it. Thank you, Bella. So nice. Again, I didn't really know what to expect, but it's just going to be one of those SOS products that I just always have at the ready in case something happens. So that was everything. Such a long video. Thank you guys for joining me and sticking with me. I'm sorry I've been a little MIA, but I will hopefully be catching up on that. I'll talk to you guys again soon. Bye.